Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Kevin with survivalistboards.com. I got myself a new stove, and I want to thank Darwin on the trail for talking about the stove, and I decided to go out to Amazon and pick one up. I was going to do a review of this little stove. Also bought myself a new little pot to replace this one. So I was going to do a review of the stove and the pot on a hiking trip in the next couple of days. I said, well, instead of just doing a review on the stove, let's show like how I arrived at this point. Some of y'all know I'm in my late 40s, well, 49 years old. So I decided I would go over, say, starting from the 1980s when I was a teenager, and talking about my evolution, or my camping pot evolution, cooking evolution from the 1980s, whenever I was a teenager, all the way through 2017, and how I finally arrived here at this point. When I was growing up, a little place called Bridge City, Texas, there was some woods behind the house, and the neighborhood boys and I, we'd go out there, all my buddies and stuff, we'd go out there and go camping. And it's not this pot. This pot is just a representative of what I would take. So I'd go out there with friends. I don't know, it's half a mile or so from the house. We'd go back there, go camping, set up camps, build tree houses, stuff like that. And Mom would let me borrow a little cook pot that she didn't want anymore. And we'd build a fire and throw some chili in there or beans or something and eat out of the pot. And then there was always the trouble of cleaning up the pot afterwards, which we were only just a short distance from home. So we'd just bring it home every once in a while, wash it out, bring it back. Then things changed a little bit. It started, as I got older, started venturing further away from home, got married, had kids, and go out on the camping on the bayous and on the boat or wherever else. And then one day I was walking around either Academy Sports and Outdoors or Walmart. A buddy of mine was telling me about this little single burner stove that he got. So I was like, you know, that's pretty cool. So decided to go ahead and pick one up. Turn it down a little bit like that. So I got the single burner stove, and let's turn this thing on and see how much this thing weighs. We're just going to also be doing a weight comparison. With the pot, I got tired of having to build a fire every time I wanted a hot meal. And so that's 1 pound, 3.7 ounces. 1 pound, 3.7 ounces. So I really like the versatility of being able to cook without having to build a fire or having a big cleanup. Just get yourself a little canteen cup, boil some water, put ramen noodles in there, just wash it out, wipe it out. Also, the little 1 pound cylinders fit perfect into the outside pocket of a Alice pack. I mean, it just fits in there perfect. I mean, the problem is, this just gets heavy. It just gets absolutely heavy. Just thread that on there. I mean, we're 2.9 ounces. That's a lot of weight just for your cook stove. About 10 years ago, well, it's 2017 now, so somewhere around 2008, 2007, I was walking through Walmart, saw this little Coleman Mac Stove, and I was like, well, you know, that's pretty cool. So I picked it up, and I switched over to, instead of the big propane, I switched over to the blended fuel. And that is 6.6 ounces, 6.5 ounces, as compared to 1 pound. And so it's a lot of difference. That is a lot of difference. So rather than the stainless steel GI Surplus canteen cup, see where this one here has been used over an open fire a few times, I went with the little cook pot. This is the Optimus Terra Solo, and I've used this for several years. Would carry this, would have a paper towel in there, not a paper towel, but a dish rag. It's mainly to stop from rattling, mainly to stop the stove from rattling. Have my little lighter in there. Put that on there. And we're at 15.25 ounces. And for a long time I carried that. Talking for close to what, 8, 9, 10 years. This is what my primary cook set while hiking, camping, backpacking, or anything else. On top of carrying the Optimus Terra Solo with the Coleman Mac Stove, I would carry a little makeup bag. Not for makeup, and that is 5.4 ounces. And this would have an assorted things. I've got a titanium fork and spoon in there. Got an accessory pack out of an MRE. Got some paper towels. Got matches, a couple extra spoons, military spoons. Got another spoon in there. I mean, I don't know why I need 4 spoons for. It's just overkill. So after reviewing my setup, it's just like I just do not need all of this. While thinking about what gear I never really use, I was like, well, I can shave a couple ounces off getting rid of that. I'll keep the spork though. I'll spoon and fork. I'll keep that. I'm gonna keep that. And then Darwin on the Trail, guy I follow on YouTube. He's got some good videos. A lot of through hiking type videos. Anyway, he mentioned this little BRS stove, and I was like, you know, that's pretty cool. And I could possibly shave off a few ounces by going with a lighter stove. So let's compare my Coleman Mac that I'm using now, that's 6.5 ounces, to the little BRS, less than an ounce. I mean, so 9.0, 0.9. I mean, that's a lot. That adds up, guys. Adds up. And then also I went with the Toke's titanium 550 milliliter pot. Go with that. 7 ounces, 7.1 ounces compared to this, 3.7 ounces. I mean, that's a lot of weight we're saving. While eating these Mountain House meals, you see the spoon is not really long enough to get down to the very bottom without sticking your hand down inside there. So while I was buying a new stove and a new pot, I was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get me one of these long-winded spoons that I can reach all the way down there with and scoop out the bottom of that pouch without getting my hands down inside of it, getting stuff all over my... It's not really a big deal. You just get food on your hands, food all over your fork, stuff like that. I was like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and order myself one of these. And if this goes in there, and then also I can carry that in there with it. So now I've got both options. I can get a short, but I've still got fork, spoon, long-handled spoon. So that is how I have arrived at this point. We've gone from just staying, whenever I was a teenager, 12, 13 years old, just cooking a mile or so behind the house, a bunch of woods. There as I was growing up, to being able to cook anywhere. Then it became more of a focus on weight. As you went from the big propane, single burner propane stove to a little small stove, and then finally we're shaving that down to something smaller, more compact and weighs less. Well, guys and gals, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I just didn't want to do a review of the stove. I'm going to be doing a review of this in the next few days. I've got a hiking trip. Hopefully everything will go okay. I'll be able to head out tomorrow, get dropped off, use some topographical maps, compass, find my way back home, and then be able to do a review of that. But I didn't think it was fair just to do a review of this without covering everything. So now we've got, what, 30 years? I'm 49, so we've got 35 years of camping pot or cookware evolution, right on down to the smallest, one of the smallest little stoves on the market today. I don't know if that is the smallest, but it's one of the smaller that I've seen. All right, guys and gals, hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I will talk to y'all later.